It's the Vegas Toy Squadcast, starring Vegas Toy Squad.
Hey everyone, welcome to our Squadcast. This is the Vegas Toy Squad coming at you with our 8th episode of our Squadcasts.
Wow.
I know. It's gone by so quickly.
Who thought it would last this long?
Holy brick.
I did. I guess I'm alone in that thought.
No, I thought it
We all
might.
knew.
I thought it might.
We knew it'd be a smashing success.
That is true.
Right
That
from
is
the
true.
start.
Raging.
Well, like I said, welcome. Thank you guys for sticking with us and coming back to us. My name is Rick.
I'm Frank.
I'm Rob, and today... Oh,
I remembered this time, but you didn't.
I'm Chris.
this is our
Here.
guest, Chris, and we also have behind the scenes Patricia.
Hello, everybody.
We wanted to make sure we didn't forget. And last time you remembered, I was like, oh, I'm going to beat you to the punch.
I was
this
going to
time.
forget this time, so
Yeah,
I was
it is.
going right to the guest.
I
I forgot I
know.
was even here.
No, we're going to save you. We're saving the best for last.
And can we just say, I am not alone back here behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Today
That's right.
we have another behind the scenes guest.
Studio audience. It's our studio audience.
It's our first
Our very
studio
first
audience.
Studio
Yay,
audience. Yeah.
Send it in class.
Listen
It's
to that.
Jen, wife of the fantastic Chris.
That is awesome.
There you go.
All right,
Great
so we're going
audience.
to get this thing started by talking about what has got us excited this week. Who wants to start off? Because there's a lot going on.
I'll start, because you guys got good stuff. I'll get my stuff.
Okay, all right.
Everything's good.
Everything is good. I'm not excited. I'm not happy, but we had the passing of Gary Kurtz, producer, this week. Producer Star Wars, producer Empire Strikes Back, and Dark Crystal, also, by the way.
Mm.
If you,
I didn't know it was Dark Crystal.
yeah.
I knew the other one too.
So he passed, and he was a big part of the Star Wars universe. So we have his photo. If you're just
Alright.
listening, we have his photo here as a tribute, and it was today's daily fete.
Oh,
So if
very
you want
nice.
to see the photo, you have to go see our
Daily Fet.
Instagram and or Facebook. And
Very cool.
that's all I got.
Well, that was kind of a heavy way to
I
start.
know.
So what else is everybody
So what
doing?
else? So anything else?
I guess I can go.
You can lighten the mood with yours.
Frank's now asking for permission.
Well, yeah, I am.
Can I go next?
Yeah, because everyone's got some stuff to share, but mine's comic books. I actually bought.
Comic books?
Yeah, sorry.
Those are like toys.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of them are based off of, so, or still coming from. But anyway, I got the newest paperback trade of Rat Queens, which I'm excited about.
Are these all fresh off the press?
They're not fresh, but
This
I
one's
mean,
relatively
it's
fresh.
relatively new. You know, I get trades, so I get them like once every like.
But I mean, are the trades fresh? Like, is this?
Yeah. These are all
I
new.
know the.
Let me see.
These are all new.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Frank.
Yeah.
You mentioned Rat Queens
It's
a
fresh.
few episodes ago.
I did,
when we were
I
talking
did.
About comics.
Rat Queens were again, as you guys like to say, sandals and swords.
Oh.
But it's very much like our topic today. So I thought
Yes.
this was like really cool to get. But it's basically a bunch of these butt kicking ladies that just go around just
Kicking butt.
kicking butt, and then they get inebriated and destroy the town, and then they have to.
Celebrate on acid trips.
And then they have to redeem themselves again all the time. So it's a pretty great
Are
comic.
they anti-heroes? Would you say? Is
Yeah.
I may need to borrow those.
It's
from you.
pretty
They're
amazing. Well,
fun.
that's the funny thing is I can't figure out who I loaned the previous issues to, so I'm missing the first four
Maybe
of
somebody
them.
who
So
is
if
watching
anyone's
or
watching out there that has
Yeah,
them,
Frank's
please let me
bring
know.
them back.
If not, then I'll try and find them for cheap. So either way, it's a great series.
Have you read that one yet? Have you?
I have not.
Pictured through?
No. I pictured through
All right,
things.
there's some
you
good.
know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Never
love spoilers.
mind. Oh, yeah, that's not okay. I did want to say before you moved on though, that was also a great segue too, because in our last episode we did talk about fantasy movies. So
You did.
bridging the gap there for BTS. Good
For
job.
the-
Frank.
hey, I tried.
You get a raise. Nice job.
Like, do I get a higher seat? Like,
You're already higher than me. You're
I
good.
mean, I don't
Gold
get. I'm not
seats.
getting
You go
paid.
from
So.
silver to gold.
Oh,
What do I have?
that?
I have
You got
silver.
silver.
Okay, I'm a guest.
Oh, well.
So makes sense.
No, there's actually that thing.
You're still a guest status.
Well, the other one I got is Outcast. I don't know if you guys know about this one. It's Robert Kirkman.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've read those.
And I'm really stoked to read it, but again, I don't want to give anything away, but we talked about it in previous episodes, so.
Yeah, this is the last story arc. They're taking a break, a hiatus. They're supposed to come back in 2019. So.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Well,
so this is the
so I'll be putting this
culmination of
off.
everything that's
Series
happened in the
finale.
last
I'll put it off for a
years.
little bit to read it, so.
Mhm.
Well, I'm
It's
really
excellent.
excited. Now I'm
Excellent
even
book.
more excited. And then I know Rick and me were talking about this, but this Star Wars story arc that they have by Marvel now is
So both gentlemen,
Yeah.
Rick and Frank, are
Ooh la
holding up
la.
their copies.
For those just listening, don't give me any spoilers because I'm still on book 15.
Oh, we have to talk about this though. You're on book 15.
Give
What
me
number?
What issue is this?
53.
53.
Oh
okay.
I
God!
have some catching up to do. One afternoon, I'm going to just sit and go and
You
burn through them
need
all
to fix
with
your
my white
hyperdrive
yeah,
and
get it fixed.
gloves. I
I'll see it when it's a movie.
that's funny
You
you,
know
say
what?
that because that arc that you're talking about, I want to see it as a movie.
It leads into a lot
so
of
many unanswered
certain movies that have
questions.
been
know.
made.
You want to talk
so
about it, don't
We
you?
really
Yeah,
want to,
we
but we
do.
can't. I know.
I'll probably forget about it by the time I read them. so
Probably.
you could
You'll probably
talk
fall
about
asleep
it.
as we converse.
If you can make it through
Is he
this.
saying I'm old?
No, we're just saying you fall asleep during movies.
During action movies, if there's an action
Yeah.
sequence. Let me see if I can, if we could sum it up without giving away spoilers. But it is a great story. It tells the story of how they were able to build up their fleet and how they got other
Other worlds.
to join the rebellion. And it really
Another species.
shows how important Princess Leia was to the rebellion and why she was such a huge figure in the entire franchise.
Yeah, like I get chills
So,
thinking about it. Like
yeah.
it's such a good story arc that's going on behind the scenes that a lot of people won't see because a lot of people don't read comics anymore. So
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too bad.
And
I heard they could just watch them.
Frank and I were
Like
talking.
Chris says.
It had tie-ins with Star Wars Rebels, obviously the original trilogy movies, and then huge tie-ins with Rogue One.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was just.
I felt like there was even references to Solo. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, there was a
but-
few. Yep.
Which
Wow.
it's a stretch, but it's very.
Well, wasn't the bounty from Enfys Nest, wasn't that the money they used to start the rebellion, basically? Does
I
it,
think that's
yes,
what. Yeah.
yes,
if
I think
remember
that's the
correctly.
general. I think that's
so
the
that
general.
could, I mean,
But yes, but
That
I
could
mean
tie
also what they're using for the money. I mean as far as what was it called again? The unprocessed.
Oh, I don't
I can't
remember.
remember.
Yeah.
But that comes into
Why
play.
they did the
That comes
Kessel
into
Run.
play too. Where they did the Kessel Run. Why they went to
Oh,
go get
that-
the.
that mineral or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Coaxium? No.
Yeah, it's
Something.
It's not metachlorians.
so close.
It's not that
I could look it up, but then I just have to.
Adamantium.
All the Star
something
Wars
Yeah,
fans are giving
on
us the finger right
unobtainium.
now. How do you not know?
I literally just read about it today again.
All right.
But when you say the solo, it's because what they're doing now in the comic books is they'll have the characters just say a quick little blurb or use a phrase that was used in the movies. So it's really cool to see how it all ties
It
together.
becomes part of their lingo.
Yeah.
Like it's like something they say on a daily
And-
basis.
This was the final story arc, or the final piece to that story arc.
Oh, that's-
So this was Star Wars Episode 50. So for those of you not watching, it's a great cover. It's just kind of like a light blue, and it's got Princess Leia on
This
the
is the
cover.
Marvel
No.
Yeah.
issue
Yes.
50
Mhm.
What
Marvel
is
comics.
on her cape?
So it's just all the different. It's Darth Vader's.
It's the map to Luke Skywalker.
Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. You got the X-wing, and then you got the Star Destroyer.
It's a blue dress, but it looks like it has a little, like a mess on it, like
Yeah.
a blue dress with a
Constellation.
little bit of something on it, like.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Family show.
Throwing us back all the way to the 90s. Thank
Yeah,
you
really.
for that.
Remember the
Robert.
blue dress?
All right.
Yes.
Nope.
The gold and white one?
Nope. Moving
No.
on.
No. This is going back.
This is the Bill
Taking it
Clinton.
old.
Oh
Old school.
man.
I got to bring a little spice in once in a while.
Thank you.
The
Thank you.
presidential
That's my
spice.
role.
Ah.
if you will.
And what's your other one there, Frank?
Drum
This
roll.
is
Oh,
this is the topic. This is
it's the one Jen and I are most excited about.
oh, it's the new Batman comic.
Not for children.
Not for children. I must say that several times. And Batman Damned. And Well,
big book.
it is. It's way bigger. It's heavier too, and
That's
Large
a
format.
and
Can I touch it?
thicker, so to speak.
It just came out.
It's girthy.
Everyone's going nuts about it. You know, like I don't know how else to describe it, but
And that's it.
Okay, explain why everyone.
why it's so
is-
controversial?
This
Like,
is the
gone
first
nuts.
time that you
Explain
see.
why Rick's getting tested.
Out here, let me explain in words that will be friendly for everyone.
Rick, is this going to be short or long?
It'll be short.
Okay.
There are parts of the body that are usually covered by a swimsuit. Those body parts are revealed in Batman Damned.
You sound like you do that 5th grade talk.
I used to.
Yes, and
It's the first time you see Batman's.
Hoo-ha!
Batawang.
I like that. That's
There you go.
creative.
That's the
Can we
term.
refer to him as Bruce Wayne? Wayne Enterprises.
Wow.
Oh man,
I'm just
he's,
glad
You're gonna see Wayne's Enterprises.
he's just gonna keep going.
Wayne's
I know. I'm just glad it was Batman and it wasn't Nightwing.
We could just keep this going.
I'm just saying. I could keep going. I'm going to stop.
So-
What's even funnier though is we just looked this up on eBay, and it is now going for anywhere between $50 and $70 on eBay.
What's the cover price?
I think I paid like 14 for it, but
How long ago?
like on Friday, I stopped in the comic shop. I stopped in the comic shop, and they were like I said, everyone was going nuts about it, so to speak. And I was like, "What is the big deal?" I'm like, and there was like literally like probably about 8 issues right next to me, like right by the register, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna
About
toss this
2.
in too. So I just maybe. But like I said, I just picked it up because I wanted to see if it was a cool storyline. I had no idea what the big deal was, so to speak. And like I said, I bought it, and it's a really cool storyline. That's the thing. Is like the art in it is amazing. Every single frame looks like a painting,
Wow.
and like it makes it. I'm not saying that it's.
It's realistic.
yeah.
Frank, you're stammering.
Yes.
You're stammering, Frank.
Fair enough. But either way, it was a really cool book, and I'm definitely gonna get the next issue.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say it says book. So how many?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I
if
don't
it's a
know. I
limited-
just saw it and I just bought it on a.
But you're
Yeah.
hooked.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
It's got them by the.
Okay.
The honeys.
Hey, the Batwing always comes back around.
So look for that.
Moving on.
Look
So
for
you
that.
have to buy a special bag for that. It doesn't fit. in comic
No, it
bags.
came like this. I mean,
Oh, it
apparently
came
there's other
Prestige format, huh?
ones, so to speak.
What is that called?
I don't know if that's. Is that
It looks like
Batman's
a
Day.
format?
But I mean, no, I mean this format. This
Oh,
size.
I don't
It's like
know.
a magazine size.
It is, yeah.
It is magazine size.
but
Okay.
I think they
Nice
call it
book.
prestige, but
Carefully sheathed now.
It's well protected.
Wow.
Put it away. Put it
put it on
away.
eBay.
Put it away.
Like the modern day filling joke.
Too funny.
It might be. I don't know. It's a really good storyline. I highly suggest it. You know, but
Well, do we have time for everybody
I don't know if
else's
anyone
now?
has $50 to put out to read the thing now either,
They
but
might get a cover price somewhere if they're lucky.
or a sneak
Very
peek, if you
cool.
will.
There you
We're
go.
good. So who
right.
else is excited about stuff?
Well,
I don't know.
chimed
Is
in
Frank
with-
excited?
Yeah, we
Frank
can.
I
stuff,
think he's
but
pretty excited.
I've got
I
the.
don't know. I've been. Who else am I going to talk to about about Wang
Except our millions
Enterprises?
of Spotify listeners.
That was an interesting text because Frank's like, "Why is everyone going so crazy for this?" So I had to text him. It's because it's the first
Oh, you didn't
appearance
know
of.
when you
No, I said that's what I said. I said I didn't know, but I did it. But Rick didn't know. I
Yeah.
read it before I sent it. I'm like I wasn't aware of why
Yeah,
why everybody was going crazy.
going crazy for it.
But and it seems like a silly thing to go so crazy for. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's
really?
I think collectors now think of anything they can that'll set a book apart, or or anything
Yeah.
apart that's like, oh, this is the first time this is ever. It may never happen again.
Right.
Of course, it's gonna happen. At some
well,
point.
now it is
Yeah, now
Yeah.
it will. Now
You
that
can-
they
Yeah,
saw
now
how
they
many-
broke
Yeah.
that
from $14 to $70 or whatever.
Yeah.
Started with NYPD Blue.
David Carradigan's boot.
Stephen
Right?
Gotch.
I don't know.
All right.
Well, pretty soon you're going to have to start comparing other
Yeah.
superheroes to each
Yeah,
other,
right?
right?
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
Superman's going to have to come out with one next. Or,
No,
Yeah.
he's too goody two shoes.
no,
He'll
maybe
never.
not Superman, but.
Hey, he's had a
Somewhat.
darker side too. Come on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mike.
You know what?
I guess.
Crazy.
Next, we'll probably see the Joker's way next,
Well,
and they'll have like a true,
Maybe, I don't know,
like a
that-
true contest.
the
Of,
Joker's kind of also in this mix of the storyline. I don't want to get
I
too
think
much
he's on
into
the
it.
next cover. There's the Joker.
isn't
What?
Joaquin Phoenix gonna be? He'll be nude.
That's what we were talking
Can only
about.
hope.
What we're excited because we were talking before the cast. There's a few trailers that came out that are exciting, but that was
Yeah.
one of the things that came out this week too. Was pictures of Joaquin as the Joker.
I didn't dig it.
I
He just looked like a clown.
yeah, but I think that what he's going to bring to the role is what's going to make it exciting. To me,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what he has on his face.
I like it. Yeah.
You know, I think
he's-
But that's all we got.
Yeah, I think
Interesting.
I think he'll bring a dark persona to it. So I think it'll be cool.
There's a lot of mumbling back there in the peanut gallery.
Sorry, that's what happens when you have a live studio audience.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We need security in here now.
We need some sign buttons.
Yeah,
Pause or
applause.
quiet,
Oh.
please.
There were some other good trailers that
Yes.
came out this week that I'm excited about.
Chris,
Yeah.
take it away.
Take it
Okay,
away.
Wow.
let's hear it.
I
Let's
got
hear it.
here. I may as well talk a little bit.
Yeah.
Introduce
please.
yourself.
Like, do you want to know my reference points or just talk about?
We want to know who you are.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your story?
What brings you here, Chris?
I'm Chris. That's it. Yeah, no.
What do you do?
So, I'm here to talk about Magic the Gathering today, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're talking about exciting new stuff right now. Not that Magic the Gathering is not exciting.
You're new.
I'm also a toy fan. Been, child of the '80s, so gotta love the toys, movies, comics,
For sure.
all of that. So I think I can talk about all this stuff just as well as everyone else.
You gonna hold your own
I
here?
can hold my own. I think
With the
Put up
squad.
Zooks.
Lord.
I don't know if I can hold my own to Bruce Wayne, but
Bruce Wayne.
Swing, sorry.
Swing now.
But yeah. So
So what trailer?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Captain Marvel came
That
out,
was
and that looks
legit.
I haven't seen. Have we
I'm
seen that?
pretty
gonna have to
good.
give me some earmuffs.
Oh, and the Bumblebee
Oh.
trailer also came out, which also looks pretty good. Not as good as Captain Marvel, but
That's a Transformer.
that's
Yeah.
that's the Transformers movie. Yeah.
He's the yellow one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was excited for Bumblebee too, and especially my daughter's a huge Transformer fan, and just recently bought her all the '80s cartoons on DVD. So when she saw the new characters that are in there,
She's probably losing it.
oh, she lost it big
Madison's
time
probably losing
because
it.
there's certain characters that they showed for the first time in this new trailer,
And
that it's very
they
exciting.
look like them from
Yeah,
the
you can
cartoons.
recognize them.
Yeah.
It was like,
Uh,
oh, look at that! It looks like a Transformer. I'll be.
Not this super organic
Oh.
robot-looking stuff that
That
we've seen.
smokes
In,
cigars and has things hanging
yeah,
for its
beards and
What is that?
farts and things of
Oh.
that sort.
That's ridiculous.
We saw some Transformers.
Yeah, so I was excited for that too. I thought that was cool. That
That's
and the
cool.
Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel looked.
What excited you the most about Captain Marvel?
I don't know. I just got that exciting feeling watching it. It looked really good.
Is it
Without
that same
spoiling
feeling
anything?
that I used to get when watching Linda Carter in Wonder Woman?
Probably not because I'm not that creepy. But
Wow.
this was more.
Aww.
I was 10.
Whoa! Really?
Anyways,
No, it was more of that exciting feeling. Like, all right, I can't wait until she comes into the Marvel universe and she meets Thanos and that whole thing. comes
When does
to
that
that.
drop? When does the movie come?
That's next year sometime.
March or April.
Yeah.
It's before Avengers.
I think it's
Yeah.
March or April. I want to say March. I
I
think,
think it's
March.
March and then Avengers is May again.
You're right.
Yeah.
6 months.
Right. I
It's a
know.
little bit of
Well,
time.
I mean, think about when Avengers, the last Infinity Wars came out. Like, when was that? That was this summer, like May.
Yeah.
So we got to wait like almost an entire year before another. Well, we did get Wasp and the Ant-Man. That was pretty.
Yeah,
awesome.
that was cool.
That was
That
a
was
lot of
there.
fun. That was a fun movie.
Plus, they're putting out Netflix shows that they're teasing us. with.
Yeah.
Nothing connected to
Yeah,
the story.
you're
but
right.
those
You're right.
exist and
But
fill
they're
in
still
time.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I
see
agree
a
with
previous episode.
Yeah.
Episode
About
6, I think that was.
yes, about
No, 5.
5.
About
yeah.
the
Well, good thing you numbered
TVs.
them.
you. Yeah, I'm glad you can remember which episode it was.
And
Well,
we
they're
have
still pretty low yet.
we have Venom coming out.
Yes, I'm
Not
really
the same
excited about
Marvel
that.
Cinematic Universe, but
Which one?
Venom.
Venom.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That comes out next month.
I did watch.
October 5th.
I did watch
Yeah.
a teaser trailer for that.
You
I
did.
I didn't. I didn't know what I was
Mr.
watching.
Frank,
I didn't know what I was
what?
watching. I swear to
What?
God,
Wow.
I didn't know what I was watching. I watched it, and
So
I-
what you saw, how did you react? What did you think?
I'm excited, but I'm a little worried because I've seen them screw up a lot of Spider-Man and comic book character villains and just heroes that you've just looked at art-wise for so long, and you just have this image of them in your head. You just want them to really just try and I don't know. It's just I'm worried about it, but at the same time I'm super excited to see what they're gonna do with it. And it's Tom Hardy, so
It should be
Tom
good.
Hardy's really awesome. And he's like,
I just
picks
don't
his
like
stuff.
how they
Hoping the
say.
saving grace. Like, I'm
Right,
hoping
that's
that
what
is
I'm
what's
saying,
gonna make
like-
the movie great.
I feel like he picks really good movies. You know, like every
does.
role I've seen him in, I'm just like, even if I didn't like the movie, he's really awesome. Like he
He's a
does
great
a good
actor,
job.
yes.
So, and he's Venom. So there we go.
The only thing that disappointed me was how they say symbiote.
I didn't see it.
They make it sound like a breakfast cereal. Though. Symbiote. It's a symbiote. Okay.
I did.
Sounds delicious.
I did
That's what
spoil
I'm
something
saying,
else.
man.
for
Put
me.
some honey on it, some granola, we're good.
Symbiotes.
Something did get spoiled for me for that movie, though. I did see some of the pops that came out, and I saw one, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Why do you put this out so soon?" And so I'm not going to spoil it for anyone else, but
Money.
yeah, money, and it's another big villain, and there we go.
Really? All
There you
right.
go.
Was he a
Yeah.
villain though? He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
depends who's
Yeah,
right.
it depends how they write him,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Big
misunderstood hero, apparently.
Yeah, I'll eat someone's head and
But then the next
He's
episode,
probably a
I'll
bad
be
guy who got his head eaten.
oh yeah, true.
like
yeah.
Predator.
Like not a nice person.
Yeah, that's true. You can do that.
So
That's funny. Well, I promised I wouldn't say anything again, but I do have it here.
don't
Not
say the
another
name.
word. Not another word. But it is an element.
Is that his
It is-
power?
And he
costume?
does ride
It is
the
a Marvel.
cosmic
It is a
waves.
Marvel
We
Legends.
have to say something for the podcast.
Well, that's what I
Oh,
said. It's the
yeah.
Marvel Legends figure that I've been talking about for the past 3 or 4 podcasts.
5,
That's-
6.
It's
It's finally
assuming
here.
people are listening to everyone.
That's true.
So that's
All
a
right,
big
it's the
assumption.
Silver Surfer.
Finally,
We finally
brought
find
it.
him.
So did it meet your expectations?
It is, but I kind of have opener's remorse.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
you should have bought
You
two.
should have bought the 2.
You know, I don't need 2, but he is definitely. Unless I get I got to figure out some kind of stand for him or get him in a stand
Well, he's standing on
because
a
you can
surfboard.
make like a
Yeah, but
do really cool
He's
poses
flying.
for him. But I need to figure out some way to make him
So
that
he's fully
flying through the air.
articulated?
Oh yeah. You can do all kinds. It comes with 3 pairs of hands, so you can
Oh.
change his hands so he can do different.
you can see his shoulder blades
Things.
move
Yeah, it's really
back
these
and forth. Too,
these
like-
Marvel Legends, the newer ones. A lot of them have these shoulder joints where you can't really see where we're moving them. They're so small, but where they can the butterfly joints in their shoulder, so you can have them.
Like as if they're rowing.
Yep.
Yeah,
or
like
have
go-
them go back.
pull back.
So you could have
It's
him do
like-
push-ups.
Yeah, if you,
Huh?
yeah, if you want.
Yeah, if you wanna
motion
just-
animation.
We'll do a training scene. We can do it.
I think we need to do a short.
Call Boba
Wolverine
Pat back
ones.
up and do a training scene.
The Wolverine and the Spider-Man ones have them too. They're really cool, so you can do some really cool
Nice.
poses. First, photography. Get some
Yeah.
really good poses for
Cool.
toy photography.
They need a. Are the Black Series? I've never opened one. Are they articulated like that?
I don't think they're as articulated.
Ah,
No.
Yeah,
No, not
I
the
only
ones I've
have
seen.
a couple Black Series, but the ones I have, they're not nearly as articulated as that.
Is the thing out yet?
I was just looking before the podcast and just found this guy, and they just released The Thing and also Magic from the
Oh.
X-Men as a Walgreens exclusive. So just when I thought I was done going to Walgreens,
You're never done. Walgreens.
now,
back again.
is Magic looking all limbo-ish with like her hooved feet, or is she just
No.
like New Mutants Magic?
She's like New Mutants, but she's in her black.
Wow.
So she's got that black costume. So yeah.
That went heavy nerd
Oh,
talk.
I
for a
know.
second.
Well, it's my man.
We're knee deep.
Ah,
we like some magic.
that went right over my head, man.
Exactly.
Right on, all right.
Speaking
Well,
of
speaking
magic,
of
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a segue.
There's our segue. Speaking
of
of magic, we got a different magic. As Chris said, he's here to talk about Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
So I don't know.
I
if
don't
we
even know
should.
where to start with Magic the Gathering.
Yeah,
What's
it's
what is your affiliation? What do? You somehow make some kind of a living doing some of this.
I play Magic loosely professionally. I wouldn't say professionally because I'm too old of a man to be professionally playing Magic the Gathering. But
Who says? Who says?
I don't know, I do. But I do make money playing Magic the Gathering, and I work part-time for the company that produces the game, I guess. Not
can say
in any sort of development thing. Wizards of the Coast, owned by Hasbro, which is a toy connection.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's weird because they didn't make. We'll have to talk about that later. But they
the
didn't make
pops.
these.
They had to
What are
license that
these?
out. So
the
Oh,
action
Hasbro
figures.
didn't make the
They
Magic
didn't make the
action
Magic action figures. So,
Ah,
but we can talk
that
about
is an
that.
Which we're
interesting
getting
thing. yeah, I work some of their events as an event host or as a Magic the Gathering judge, and I used to play a lot of the game back when it first came out, and I still do play, but I used to play a lot. So it's a game that's been out for 25 years. This was actually their 25th year anniversary.
Wow.
So a lot of milestones have been hit. Just a lot of new products are coming out, and they have the largest audience they've ever had. And it's pretty cool.
12 million players worldwide.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
According to their website.
a lot of people playing
means-
a card game.
We could get some of those 12 million to listen to our spotcast.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
Spotcast.
Yeah.
Spotcast?
Spot.
Whatever the heck we're doing here.
Yeah. You're on
Stop
Spotify
that.
now,
Reverse
so...
it.
That's what I think I was thinking Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify,
We
there
should
you
call
go.
it a spotcast.
So moving on.
Let's not confuse.
Yeah, so I'm
not-
here to share any knowledge you want to know about Magic the Gathering.
Well, I play the role of the person who knows nothing about Magic the Gathering other than it exists. Have you guys ever played, Frank?
I have not played. I have knowledge of it, and I know people that do play. But I also was very poor when it was out, so I couldn't
You
invest in
couldn't
there.
afford a deck
Yes.
of cards?
Well,
Well, it's not an
It's-
inexpensive game.
yes, it's not.
This is-
not to play well. To get good cards, you need to spend more
It's
money.
a deck building game.
Yeah,
Correct.
correct. Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
Look at you.
And then have you played?
No knowledge.
Yeah, honestly, when my wife and I, when we first got married, we were randomly, I think it was Walmart or somewhere, and we saw there was a starter pack with 2 decks
Yeah.
already built.
Yep.
So I was just like, if we buy this, would you play? And she's like, yeah. So we actually played for a while, and then I just kind of lost.
Was that the beginning of the card game?
No, because that was way.
Yeah,
That was
that
way
would have
prior
been
to, yeah.
probably in the 2000s. If
Yes, it was early 2000s, yeah.
Two-player starter deck. They didn't start making those until the 2000s-ish.
Okay.
Man, look at how knowledgeable.
I know.
You look at you. That is great.
I'm going to be able to tell you anything you need to know about this game.
That is awesome.
Really.
That is about one because we moved here in about
Thank
2000.
Yeah, this is gonna. I'm
So,
gonna
yeah.
nerd out really hard here pretty soon.
That's cool.
So for people who don't know anything about the game, it is the first of its type. It's the first collectible card game to ever come out.
Yep.
That is changing, ever changing. Meaning you construct a deck or you buy a deck, and every, we'll say, season, the cards in it can change. And as you get more cards, you can take out and put in cards to modify what you have, what you want to do. And that is part of why the game is so interesting to people, is they have different styles of play that meet everyone's personality.
Do people have different decks?
Yes. So everyone brings their own deck to play, in most cases, and you battle against other people's home-created decks. So you have the same cards available, but you're changing them the way you want to.
So you don't know what your opponent may be bringing to the game.
100% correct. And that's when the game first started. That was exciting about it.
Yes.
Back in the 90s, 93, 94, when the game first came out, the internet was new-ish, and you couldn't go and see all the cards. So you could play against someone who had cards that you've never seen before, and you were just like, whoa, how'd you get this? And that was the original intent of the game, is to just build this excitement of, I'm playing the same game with someone, our rules are the same, but I have no idea what they have in their deck, and what they don't know what I have in my deck. And that created like a social trading aspect to it, where you can trade your rare cards for other people's rare cards, and start to customize, like, oh, you don't play these big monster type cards, but you play these attack life point cards, and you can switch them out with each other, and you both get the best of both worlds.
Wow.
The simple gist of the game is each player or each person takes the role of a planeswalker, which is a trademarked word, a wizard, just a powerful wizard, who draws energy from the land around them, called mana, and you use that to summon creatures and to summon spells, and you're trying to defeat your opponent to 0 life. Is the gist.
All right.
Defeat your opponent to 0 life sounds like a real nice way of saying kill your opponent.
Sure, you want to kill your opponent, but they have other ways to win besides just killing them.
Another game of murder.
Yes, it's a game of murder over territory.
Who doesn't play Clue? That's all I'm
You're
saying.
fighting over territory.
Always a bot.
Somewhere.
Someone's gotta die.
Oh, man.
So, in the 25 years it's been out, it has grown a lot. They have sprouted off all sorts of licensing things from it.
Such as
they have pops, which I'm holding up a pop now.
Funko has taken control of Magic and
have made pops,
Of
which
course.
I actually
Control.
think they've stopped producing them now. But they had, I believe,
Are they
2 or
vaulted?
3 series of
Do you
them.
need a pop protector for that one?
That one I do not need a pop
If
protector
it's
for.
vaulted, it might be
If
valuable.
if I pull something from down here, this one,
Easy.
I know, right?
Whoa.
I would need a vault protector for this one probably.
Yeah,
So he's holding up number 12, which, how do you say the name?
Nickel Bolas.
Oh, just like
It's the alternate paint Nickel Bolas. It's the black version.
Oh,
What's
cool.
the-
Oh,
What's
that's
the other
really
one?
neat looking.
These were only given out at the Pro Tour, and according to I looked it up on the internet, and there's only 6 of these around.
What?
Which
Holy
sounds like a ridiculously small number, which I can't believe is the correct number. But
Somebody will correct us.
that is what
Yeah.
the internet says, and if someone can prove different, I would love it. But right now these are going for about $250 on eBay.
Wow.
But I feel like they should be more if there's only 60
There's
of them.
only
Yeah,
6
there's
in
only
the
6
world.
Yeah. But it is
Did you say 60?
60.
Oh, I thought you said 6.
I thought you said
Oh, no.
6. I was like,
60.
what?
Yeah.
Okay.
60,
Only
60.
250
All right, that's a little more.
Yeah.
And I got this when I was in Brussels playing in the Pro Tour a couple of years ago.
Wow.
Which is humble brags.
Look at that.
How can we all get a gig like
Playing a
that?
card game. Yeah,
It's really cool. Do you
That
mind?
is
Yeah,
awesome.
go for it.
Like, we want to check
Yeah.
this out.
I was actually gonna trade it to a friend just last night.
Really?
Well, I'm glad
when
you didn't. At least
I looked
wait
it up. I'm
for
like,
it.
oh, this is a little more
That's
expensive.
really cool, Rick. That's really
than I
cool.
thought it was.
Not that good a friend.
Well, I have the colored version, and I like that one much better.
Oh, easy, easy.
No, I'm just looking to see if it's a bobblehead. Okay.
Yeah, so
So they have
Thank you.
Funko Pops.
they have
looks
Funko
like,
Pops.
There's some action figures.
We
These
have
is-
Jones Soda,
Of course.
Magic the Gathering Jones Soda.
Wow.
The connection here is Magic the Gathering or Wizards of the Coast is from Seattle, and Jones Cola is also from Seattle, so they did a little bit of cross branding there.
Nice.
At some of their worldwide tournaments, they create limited edition flavors that you can only get at those tournaments.
Oh, wow.
So that's something kind of neat if
Wow.
you're a soda collector.
Do the bottles become valuable then?
I don't know that there's any actual value in them, except like the 5-cent deposit you can get in California or something.
Not bad.
But at my house, I have them on the shelf. You know, they,
With soda or
with
without?
soda. Yeah,
Nice.
I don't
So
know.
you just keep
actually
them
drink
filled?
it. Yeah, I don't want to drink that sugar water.
Yeah.
That's just me. Sorry, Jones Soda.
It's a
if
delicious
you are.
product.
Hey, they're not sponsoring
If
us.
you're not sponsoring us.
We're not taking ads yet.
What else? Oh,
If you want to,
do you want to
that's a
reach over
different
for
question.
this battle axe over
talk-
there?
I do.
Oh, hold on.
Wait, that's my cue.
Oh, boy.
I'm ready.
Do you have a battle axe too?
No, I don't.
Oh.
But you told me something about
Sorry,
that.
yes. So I have a Magic the Gathering battle axe as well, produced by Nerf, because
not
once
this
again
time
the
around.
father or the home company of Hasbro
There you
has
go.
Nerf and Magic the Gathering,
Oh,
so they
wow.
can do cross promotion things like this. And this belongs to a character named Garruk Wildspeaker.
We just so happen to have.
Wow.
Yeah, there's
The action figure
Is that
of
the one you? That's one of the ones you just got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Stop.
So look at
at
Yeah, it is
You
a
could
coincidence.
bash people.
Don't hold it in front of
And now-
Frank's
It's
face.
It's a-
fine. You can hold it. I can hold it out here.
Inside
That's in
the
front of the
box
mic.
is
I don't-
that.
Yeah, you
It's
got
a
the, you
little-
got the axe right
the
there.
baby
Mhm.
version.
I heard this was a battle axe show, so I felt I needed to
From
bring it
here
back.
on out, every guest needs to bring,
bring a
someone
battle
needs to bring a battle
Good
axe.
luck.
Some acts of
We've
some
set a
kind.
precedent now. 2 in a
That's too
row,
funny.
and that's.
I'm
Wow.
gonna go all
awesome.
Walking Dead. I'm bringing
He's a pretty
it.
cool looking character.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Sure.
He
currently
is really cool.
He's currently not in the storyline, which probably sounds weird to viewers. Like it's a card game. How's their storyline? But they intermix each set, each release, with
Here, you can
a
put it
continuing
up.
story.
Like in a comic book.
Like they don't have
Or
a comic. Well, there are comic books that go out, but just a story told through the cards. So as you get
Oh,
different
okay.
cards, you can piece together a story. And the certain characters, the Planeswalkers, which these action figures are of, and the pop is of also, are like main characters, and they drive the story. So like they're the people you can relate to, and a lot of the players, you can relate to the characteristics of the Planeswalkers, and that's what sort of decks you build around. And in the storyline, they play the spells that you would be playing in your deck. So it's like
That's really neat.
personification of the Magic the Gathering, almost like they're trying to make a movie or
Almost.
something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
They haven't done
If they could do
anything like that,
something
have
like
they?
A
that.
couple years ago, there was talk that the Game of Thrones writers we're going to be working on it, and then the talks just sort of disappeared. So that was like big news for a minute, and then gone.
Not news for me.
Yeah. So I don't
You
know
had something.
where that went. And then being a toy company and being a toy show, I thought I'd bring this cool set. This is a super limited edition
Gosh, let's pull this back to so
set here.
we can see these guys.
Oh,
no, man down.
This was man down.
This is a 3-card set that was given out at HasCon. HasCon is the Hasbro convention.
Wow.
G.I. Joe fans, it's a big one.
And they made 3 Magic cards
It's glowing.
using their other properties. So we have the Sword of Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice.
We have Grimlock. And we have Nerf War. So these are cards that you can...
They should have did Snake Eyes.
well, they should have.
That would have been amazing.
I think some G.I. Joe stuff would have been really cool.
I don't know. I'm happy with Grimlock.
Yeah, Grimlock's cool.
So it's pretty cool to like
Grimlock.
be able to play
Transformers.
with other
Dinosaur.
properties. The dinosaur.
Speaking of other
Me,
properties,
Grimlock.
T-Rex Autobot.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool to see
It's like
that.
one of the coolest Transformers.
Yeah, see, I'm just showing
That is
stuff
awesome.
off here.
One of the Dinobots.
I'm leaving the show for a moment.
King of the Dinobots.
Yeah, right?
With the,
Who's
yeah,
this
he
one?
was, yeah.
There he is.
This one is Jace.
Jace Belrin.
Yeah,
Now, is he a
Jace.
member of the same thing we were talking about before? One of the...
He is. So he is a blue mage.
Okay.
Or blue planeswalker. So he's his blue magic.
Planeswalker. That's
The blue spells are mostly geared towards controlling the game. Allows you to counter your opponent's spells.
No wonder I like
and
those.
allow you to like gain control of their cards. So it's more of a tricky manipulative color.
okay.
Yeah, so
And then is she green?
Nissa is a green planeswalker, and she summons large creatures, and they're able to build up their mana quicker. They tap into the land easier, so to say, and can make larger spells.
The reason I was asking is because my son just recently got into Magic. He was a camp counselor over the summer, and a bunch of his friends played.
Yeah.
So they got him into it. So I just recently got a new deck builder's toolkit.
Oh, which is
So,
right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I had him build me a deck, and I remembered I liked the blue and the green. So my deck is made of blue and green elements.
Yeah. So your goal is in the quick game, you make a big creature real fast, and then you protect it with the blue spells.
Okay.
So people can't stop you.
Oh,
is the
alright.
idea there. So
He said I had a lot of trample cards, so that's a good thing.
Trample is an ability that lets, when you attack another creature, the damage goes over beyond the creature to the player.
Oh, okay.
Hard to explain if we're not playing the game.
Right.
It sounds like you
Right.
punched the player after you.
Yes. So creatures that have trample are
I played this card.
they're basically bigger.
This game.
Trample creatures are usually bigger than the other creatures, and they just they trample. They go over whatever is in their
They
way.
trample.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there's the toolkit.
Interesting.
I'm sure there's a great deck in there.
I hope so. He
And-
said it was pretty strong, but
How many-
he's a noob, so
How many cards are in the deck? Or can it vary?
Great question. Your average format of the game, what are called constructed formats, is a 60 card deck. So you can make it more than 60.
That's a lot to keep track of.
60 is the minimum. You can have as
60
many
is
as
the
you want.
minimum?
You can have as many over that if you want, but you're losing consistency in your deck construction. Your odds of drawing a card are down. It's really a math game.
Oh, I see. I see.
And the most of any one non-basic land card you can have in your deck is 4. So in a 60 card deck, you can't have more than 4 of a certain card.
Okay.
So that's where deck construction and the mental part of the game, the mathematics part of the game that a lot of people like, the chess strategy,
Yeah.
goes into which cards you put in, which cards you don't, and how many of each you do.
People like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's
I got
it's like a puzzle. It's like you're trying to solve a puzzle.
I got a question though. Do you stack your decks? You know which card's gonna come up?
No,
next?
so
Like that's what I'm just curious. I'm not saying you personally. I'm just saying
No.
Are you
in
asking him if
general.
he cheats?
Yeah. No, I'm just curious.
Keep an
Again,
ace up your sleeve.
I know of the game. I know about the game. I don't exactly know how to play the game personally. Like I said before.
there's the random element. You shuffle every time you play. You shuffle your deck,
Okay.
and then you always in any competitive play, you always present your deck to your opponent, and they can shuffle it and cut it. Also.
Okay. Cool.
So your opponent, unlike some like magic tricks, your opponent's the last person to get to touch your deck before you draw your cards.
Got you.
They are the ones who would be stacking your deck.
All right. Well,
But that would be against the rules.
that's what I was curious about. I never
Yeah.
understood like even all deck games that you guys play, like that anyone plays. Is just I don't know if they. I don't
Isn't
know
part
who
of the fun
shuffle
playing the
it.
game? If you're stacking it, you're just sort of breaking the general rules of the game.
Right, but I mean, if the other person's got it stacked too, they're going to be playing some awesome cards too against you. So like, I didn't know if that's how it went, and like, I don't know.
It's all random.
However, there are a lot of blue spells that let you control the top of your deck.
Oh, okay.
So blue, if any color would stack the deck, the blue cards would stack the deck.
All right, fair enough.
Sweet. Good thing I have a lot
So look,
of
you're
boots.
looking at some stuff.
I am. I have an aggressive mammoth.
Whoops.
Hey, yeah, he's a big monster. So that has trample.
And it's got a little foil thing at the bottom. What's that?
Correct. So the foil thing at the bottom signifies that it's a rare or unique card. And there's a mana symbol on the card, or not mana, so a set symbol on the card that tells you its exact rarity.
Oh, okay.
So cards, because it's a collectible card game, have value, and cards go out of print every year. So the cards are only in print for 1 year, and they go out of print.
Don't tell Rick that. That's
as the cards, since the game is 25 years old,
Like vaulting.
if you have some of the old cards, they have a very, very high monetary value. I'm about
You
to show
mean like on eBay or within the game?
in eBay, physical value. So I'm going to pull out a card,
Oh boy.
and you're going to look it up on the internet. I keep saying the internet, by the way. It probably makes me sound like a really old person.
Yeah, I think people assume the
the
internet.
intrawebs.
You're not going to look it up in an
So you can just look
encyclopedia.
it up. So this card, and this is for all the home viewers, go look through your collection. Like, oh, I played Magic 20 years ago. I have these cards in the closet. You want to look for this card right here.
And then send them to VTS.
This is called the Black Lotus.
Black Lotus.
And let's look up a Black Lotus on whatever source you want to look up.
Okay,
eBay,
Black Lotus.
however you
Got
want.
it.
And there's two of them here in my hand. This is
Wow.
a beta Black Lotus, and this one's unlimited. So they're from two different sets. And they're going to have a very high price tag.
That was Rick who just
Holy footballs.
gagged.
So, Rick,
Oh
Holy cow.
now, this is just the market, not the market price. This is what someone
This-
is selling it
Selling
for.
it for, yeah. And
Doesn't mean it's
Yeah,
selling.
it doesn't mean
Right.
that's what it's
That's
actually
what they're
worth.
asking.
Okay, so let me. All right.
I'm
So
like
you've
sweating
got
over that.
$1,499,
no! For a
$2,143, $6,264, one that's signed, $6,594.
It's a pricey card.
Yes.
for a card.
This is
a
this
card.
is a down payment on a car. I don't know. Maybe you could buy a car for this, a used car, for this one piece of cardboard that you might have in your shoebox,
And
in
you're
your
gonna-
closet.
And you're going to send to Vegas Toy Squad?
Now, this is the holy grail of Magic cards.
Gracias.
Yeah, you can come on.
Is that is the holy
You
grail?
send this
This-
card, you're going to be
well,
featured.
Wait.
This is the
important.
regularly available holy grail. There are some very unique, extremely limited, like test print
production
production
quantities.
quality cards that are out there. But these are, what is thought of as someone's like, oh, I heard of Magic. Oh, Black Lotus. Yeah, that card's like this is the iForm Exodia Yu-Gi-Oh card. If
Wow.
you're listening
It's-
out there and know Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's the vinyl Cape Jawa.
This is the vinyl Cape Jawa.
There you
yes.
go. Wow.
So are these your originals from when you first started, Chris?
Unfortunately, I sold my collection many times through the years. There was one point where I sold my collection to live in college.
Oh, wow.
Just to pay for all my bills and stuff
Yeah.
for a while and
Wow.
just go to school. So yeah, you could do well with this game. I've been collecting pretty consistently for a long time though. So these
So
are
if you do you play that in competition and do people go, it's the Black Lotus?
so they will
A hush
no,
goes over the whole room.
they wouldn't. If I was to play that in
Black Lotus, watch out!
if you played in competition, probably everyone you're playing against has one. Also.
Oh wow!
Man.
But it's only since Magic has been out for so long, it would be unfair for them. So long. It's my hands moving. Bruce Wayne.
Not this long.
Throughout the whole spot.
Phrasing.
It would be a bad marketing for Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro to allow people to go to tournaments with those old cards because
Yeah.
new players can't get those cards.
Right.
So they have created different formats,
Oh, okay.
different time frames in which you can play cards
Okay.
from.
Mm-hmm.
So there are 4 main time frames for competitive Magic. There's Standard, which uses just the last 2 years of cards, which is the most common form, which if any of you got into playing, you'd probably play Standard, because it's what's readily available.
I think we should form a team.
There is Modern. Modern goes from one certain set all the way up to current. So they go back to, I think it's 2010-ish to current. There's Legacy, which covers all of Magic's history, but certain cards, like the Black Lotus,
Yeah.
are banned or not allowed to be played because they're so powerful. And then there's Vintage, which is everything and cards like Black Lotus are playable,
Mm-hmm.
but they're restricted to a 1 of. So, because they're just too
Right.
powerful.
Right.
Not one of a powerful card, but one of each.
One of
Kinda
each.
like one
They have a
of Black
list of
Lotus.
cards.
So is there a card that trumps the Black Lotus?
I have one.
There are cards. The Black Lotus is weird. It like when you look at it and read it and have just a beginning understanding of the rules, you're like, this isn't very good.
Right.
It's that it gives you your mana, your energy, which you need to play the spells, quicker than anything else does. And that's why it's good.
Okay.
Now, Rob,
So-
do you have a card, or are you just pointing to your crotch with your Batman joke?
I have a
What do you have
card.
here?
If any card would trump the Black Lotus, it is this card,
Ooh, it's,
which you can
yeah.
explain to our audience because I don't know what it means.
So I am holding a token card. This actually is not a real magic card. This is an artist-created magic card. It is a soldier token, and on the art is Boba Fett.
Yes.
And this particular token is made by an artist named RK Post.
Are you familiar with Arcade?
I'm
Post?
actually friends with RK Post.
What?
So, and I should say in the loosest sense of the word
Okay.
friends, acquaintances. Because I'm a magic judge, he comes to events and does autographs and sells artwork, and I can be like, hey RK, and he'd be like, hey guy.
Hey guy, I see once in a while. And I
Hey,
recognize-
Magic Judge, how are you?
exactly. So RK Post,
Black Lotus.
he he creates custom designed tokens and
It's
uses a lot of
really cool artwork.
he uses a lot of pop culture references in his artwork to tie into tokens that would be created in the game of Magic. When you play, a lot of cards create non-card things that you need. A lot of people use dice, some people use counters, some people use tokens. So this
So
would
that's
be
a non-essential.
this would be a non-essential, but it's one of those things that you're showing off. Since you're playing Magic, if you go to a big tournament, you're playing against a bunch of people you've never met, and you're like, well, maybe I want to make some new friends. I'll play this, and maybe my opponent will be like, oh, Boba Fett, I'm a Boba Fett fan too. And suddenly you build bonds with someone totally you've never met before, maybe he's from North Carolina or something. And you end up meeting people at events. And
That
becoming
was a
friends.
random state to pull out.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Sorry.
In the news a lot lately.
It's in the news.
Yeah.
So Rick, you'll like this. Have you seen this?
I
should have.
I think I
it
have
was a
because
daily
it's kind of
fact.
steampunk.
Yeah,
looking. It's really cool
steampunky.
looking. It is.
We're looking at this
Steampunky.
card, but if you want to see it, it was a daily fet recently, so you can
Right,
check out our.
right.
I was gonna
I
say,
did
I
see-
thought
that's
I
right,
recognized
that's
it
right, I
from
recognize
the
it.
Daily Fet.
Very cool artwork.
That is
So,
cool.
anyways, this
Nice.
is my contribution to the Magic the Gathering discussion.
Very nice.
Boba Fett card token. I don't know what it
token,
does, but
yeah.
it's
It would just be a
It looks cool.
signifier of something that would be on the board.
I don't
What do
need
you got?
Magic the Gathering, but I do have something pretty magical.
Ooh, what is this
I
thing?
found a Deadpool wizard pop that I'm gonna get, which you guys
we saw
talked
it.
about previously.
right.
But I got it for Rick or Nick or
Yes.
whoever wants this. Like I just,
Nick will be
I could not, I
fighting for it.
couldn't not buy it, and that's the only Magic the Gathering that I had to.
Oh,
I know it's not Magic
Yeah,
the Gathering,
I mean,
but
it's
it's pretty,
a wizard.
it's pretty damn
Magical.
magical to me. So
More Harry Potter.
That's
than-
funny because I brought you a gift too.
Oh,
I did. We didn't even plan
I'm gonna
this.
put the music.
That's the
in.
best
I
kind
love
of
when you
gifts.
guys do this.
oh my God, I'm free.
Dobby.
He got me a Dobby.
Harry Potter has given me a soul.
Rick has given me a Dobby. I'm free.
Oh, I feel like I should give someone something.
Somebody should give me something. Damn Gamorrean guard.
Look, we're looking for it.
I can't believe I found a second dog.
Yes.
What
That's
if
awesome.
What if I give something to the audience? Can I
Hey.
Hey,
Ooh.
all
give
right.
I
something
like
to the
that.
audience?
This is a first.
Ooh.
Hey,
Let's hear it.
BTS history.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
terrible music,
Cue
but
sound
whatever.
effects. We'll put them in.
If you're in Las Vegas, which I hope some of our viewers are.
We should have somebody
Yeah.
listening or viewing here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Sorry, Travis Green.
I'm friends with a shop here in town. I guess if you want to learn how to play Magic, probably the best place to go is to a local game store.
Yeah.
Your friendly local game store.
Sure.
What would be a good one?
Oh, well, if you are watching, you can look at my t-shirt, and I have a shirt which goes with the flavor of the toys, Dark Side Games.
Very cool.
In Las Vegas, Nevada.
Very good.
Very cool.
Located right across the street from the South Point. If you're listening, though, that's okay, too. I don't know how we'll randomly give this out to someone, but if we want to randomly pick someone on our list of listeners or subscribers, maybe make a comment.
Why
There
don't
we
we
go,
say
Yeah, how about comments?
somebody who comments on
put it-
the YouTube video?
Put it in a hat or something.
Let's be very clear.
Yes.
Comment on the YouTube video. So if you're listening to this on
And share it.
Spotify, well, it'd be nice.
Ooh.
if
Yeah.
they're used to.
Comment
we
and
don't want to
share.
get too
That's true.
complicated.
Okay. Ixnay.
Just comment.
But
Well,
comment.
comment.
So if you are just a
comment.
listener on Podbean or Spotify or whatever, pay a visit to our YouTube page, Vegas Toy Squad. Just search it out.
Give us a shout out.
Yep.
Find the video and just do a comment. Tag yourself. Comment. I want the pop. Whatever. It's a really tell
that's
tell
really
them what this
cool.
is if
Yeah.
they're listening.
This is a
Okay,
Gideon Jura pop. He's a white planeswalker. The white magic abilities are sort of a soldier type thing. You build a small little army and attack. They like to attack the opponent.
All
That's their
right.
main theme.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is our deadline for people to comment? Because this is going to air on Friday and go on.
I'd say Thursday of next week
Yeah, I was gonna say before the next.
before the next showing.
so
I mean, I don't know about you
U.S.
guys.
addresses only.
I love how we just make things up.
Oh wait, U.S.
So-
addresses or we just Vegas?
Can we ship it? I don't mind shipping.
I'll ship it.
We'll ship.
I'll
You know what?
I'll
What
throw
the
it.
heck?
Yeah, Travis Green, you're in it too. Like, just throw your
All
name
right.
in the hat.
All right.
So
Sorry,
just
buddy.
in the U.S., if you're watching
You need to
this
kick you out.
overseas, we apologize.
Media mail.
And I just
We
found
can't
out
send that
that
media mail.
my nephew's son,
Okay.
so it would be my great nephew
Yeah.
in Ohio. So Michael and Gage, if you guys are watching,
Yeah, you can-
his son Gage is a huge pop fan. So make a comment, and then maybe you guys can be in on that as well.
Yeah.
And
I like this. Thanks,
was
Chris. This is
donated by Dark Side.
Yeah,
Games.
Dark Side Games.
very cool.
In addition, if you're curious about Magic at all, this weekend is the pre-release. So a brand new set is coming out.
I saw
And
that. I saw that. I was just
When a
looking
brand new
around.
set comes out, all the local game stores have a tournament that are geared towards new players. So you go in, you pay it's probably about $25. They will give you everything you need to get started playing the game. So you'll get a deck, you'll get
wow.
the cards,
That's
you'll get
really neat.
a little box to keep them in, you'll get a dice to keep track of your life with. And it's a friendly
That's cool.
time. It's geared, all the cards are new to every player. So it's sort of a level playing field. No one knows what the cards are unless they're like the diehards who are looking on the internet right now. There's the internet again, which are a lot of Magic players.
Those
But
damn interwebs.
it's sort of a more fun, open place to go and learn how to play. People will be a lot more friendly to you. Not that Magic players are not friendly, but
I bet
they'll-
it's cutthroat.
There are, and when you're playing in the big tournaments, it is very cutthroat.
Yeah.
But
Especially if you trample one of them.
yes, so if you trample them, they will
Trampled
I
them.
remember you trampled me.
pull out your Boba Fett tokens, and then it's over.
As long as they don't pull out their Batawang, we're good.
Yeah, full circle.
There's a lot of Jones Cola drinkers there.
There's gonna be someone's gonna turn this podcast into a drinking game.
Yeah, well,
Anytime Frank says,
Eventually.
hey,
So yeah,
So that's great. That's awesome. That's our first giveaway, and
yeah, that'll be fun.
no, I don't mean
no,
that's.
this is
great.
very cool. I love
Yeah.
this. That was awesome, Chris.
I have a question. How
Yeah.
did you become a judge in the first place? So you were a fan, you were
Okay.
into it, you were playing it.
Well, I guess I should start with how did I even get into playing the game?
That's
Would
what.
be
That's what
better.
I was. That was my question.
Yeah,
For
so
sure.
I used to be a huge Dungeons and Dragons nerd. Back in high school, I was that kid that played Dungeons and Dragons. That's me. Yeah, that's cool now though. So yes, I would have been cool in high school today. Back then, not so much. Hung out in the library a lot.
This is true.
But anyways, since I'm from here in Las Vegas, I can say that. The Sahara Hotel and Casino
Oh, yeah.
had a Dungeons and Dragons convention. It was more of a role-playing convention, and they had like Vampire the Masquerade LARPing and things like that. And I went to play Dungeons and Dragons. And while I was there was a little table, and they had little decks sort of like this, little what are called starter decks, and they were showing this new game, this new pocket game. You could all fit it in one box. It could fit in your pocket. You could go while you're waiting for your Dungeons and Dragons campaign to start. You could play this game with another person. You could play it out on a sidewalk. You could go to the park and play it on a bench. Something portable, you can take it with you. You can go on holiday with it, whatever. And I was like, that sounds cool. And me and my brother, we went and demoed it out. They gave us a couple starter decks. We fell in love with it. We were just playing it over and over again. Loved the game. Eventually, at my Dungeons & Dragons meetings, also known as the weekends.
I was like meetings
Every
like,
weekend in the basement.
like AA.
I mean, we weren't in the basement. We could use the kitchen
Can't help
table.
it. I'm playing it all the time.
Me and some of my good friends were playing it, and out of someone's bag fell a Magic the Gathering deck. And I was like, oh, you play Magic the Gathering? I do too. And synchronistically, everyone at the table was like, I play Magic too.
Wow.
So we all secretly played Magic. Because it was like too nerdy for us to tell each other. Because like
Because D&D
But
wasn't
yeah.
nerdy enough.
exactly. You didn't want to cross
could
that
boast
threshold.
about it.
You were
That's
already
right.
exposed.
Right.
enough.
I mean, I was like a level 20 paladin. It was cool.
Whoa!
I could not tell my friends I played Magic. But
Right.
we discovered that we all secretly played Magic, and we're like, you know what, next week, bring your Magic decks. And the next week, we brought our Magic decks, and we haven't played D&D since then. Like, literally,
Oh,
overnight,
wow.
it transformed, and this had all the elements of, like, the fantasy Dungeons & Dragons that we wanted to play at a much quicker pace, and it was constantly changing. So instead of having to be the same character over and over again, which you don't have to be in Dungeons & Dragons, great game, but we could modify our decks and change on the spot and try to beat each other.
But it's always a two-person game. Is that
No,
right? No.
no, it's
Oh.
not. And especially in the
I was
olden
wrong.
days.
Yeah.
In the olden days, we would sit down around a big table, and just everyone would bring. I mentioned how you're supposed to have a 60-card deck to increase your odds of drawing the cards you want to be as cutthroat as possible. We'd have these like towers of like 200-card decks, and we would just sit for hours, and like nothing would ever happen. No one had a big trampling creature, so we
Yeah.
would never hit each other, and we were just like blocking, and we'd just play these fun 6-player games. Which has grown into another format, and I mentioned the 4 formats. There's a 5th one called Commander, which is this thing right here. Wow, look at this segues so well.
yeah,
Is
look
this
at
electronic?
That's a big
This
one.
is Commander is sort of like the kitchen table Magic. This is what Magic the Gathering created to give you that nostalgic feel of like those olden days of playing Magic, where you play a 100-card deck, and every single card has to be unique.
Oh.
So you build a deck, and your deck is built around what's called a commander. So you pick a planeswalker or a legendary creature. Not all planeswalkers are available, but most are. And you build your deck using only their colors.
Chris, I don't mean to interrupt, but
Yeah.
what's legendary between Planeswalker? I'm sorry, we
Great,
didn't
that-
cover that.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Legendary is sort of just a storyline element character.
Okay.
So someone who has like a name, a unique name, and on the card it will say legendary on it. So in the story, it's like a mythical character, like a King Arthur,
Okay,
or
okay, yeah.
a Spider-Man, or something.
Right,
a
just,
name-
yeah.
A named item.
Maybe Batman?
Maybe Batman. I hear he is legendary.
He's hung
He is
on
now.
You know, he's married now. I heard.
That,
No,
not
no,
yet.
it
I heard
didn't
it's
happen.
I heard it's
Oh,
going to
no.
happen.
It didn't
Right.
happen.
Hasn't happened, or did it get called off?
That was a left turn that no one saw coming.
It got called off.
Oh, I
So
wish
sorry,
I didn't
spoiler
read it.
alert. in
Is-
case
yeah,
you're
you gotta
listening.
say that before.
I'm saying
Sorry,
spoiler
hey,
alert.
I
in case
didn't
you're
know.
not.
We didn't know.
But Catwoman decided that he couldn't be Batman.
Was she finicky?
No, yeah, maybe. she said that Batman couldn't be happy, and if he was going to be with her, he was going to be happy, and he couldn't be Batman if he was happy.
He'd
So
be.
she,
He'd be
She
Catman.
said either
Yeah,
Batman
Rabbit
or
Man.
the Batman or me.
so she
Wow.
decided that the world needed Batman more than she needed Bruce Wayne.
But yeah, Batman would be
That's a
legendary.
sacrifice.
Yeah, they got-
And we did, I think, explore that a little bit more too in that comic episode.
Yeah,
We had
yeah, we talked a
about
bit
it then,
about
too.
that.
Oh, so this isn't breaking news.
No,
Yeah.
this happened back in the summer.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah, this was back in the summer.
we haven't brought it up in a while though.
Yeah,
And tonight's a perfect night.
Yeah.
there you go.
I like that we can just bounce all over the
Like I
place.
said, the battling always comes back.
That's how we roll. It's organic.
Oh man.
So back to the initial question of
Yeah, sorry.
when did I start judging Magic the Gathering? Since we're
There was a question here?
bringing those back around.
Full circle.
So the game needs judges to be played at the higher levels, the competitive levels.
Why is that?
Just someone because you're playing for prizes and things of that sort and monetary values
Okay.
here and there needs to be a referee. This is gonna sound super niche. It's a sport, technically, like how these new video game tournaments are
I don't know how it feels
sports.
about sports.
Well, it's a
Surprised you doesn't wear this hat today.
e-sport, I guess. Not a real sport.
All right.
I should not say real sport because people who play these games, it is a real sport. It is a card game sport, much like poker would be a sport.
Okay.
Okay, understood.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah, or chess, or
Understood.
competitive Scrabble.
So, like in D&D, you have a dungeon master.
Correct, who's
So
monitoring the
in
game.
Magic, if I'm just playing at my house with my friends, is there a dungeon master
No,
person?
there would not be a dungeon
No.
master person.
Or
for that.
or a judge.
Because
would not be a judge there.
You're walking the planes. There's no
Yeah.
dungeons.
Exactly.
And when you're playing then at the
You fall into
competitive
one, I don't know.
big boys table level,
Or girls. There are a lot
or
of,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
both big boys or
Yeah,
girls.
Must be gender.
Well, I was
gender
just
neutral.
using it loosely.
Big person's table. Come on now.
Okay.
At the adults table.
When you're playing with the big wigs, there is a judge.
Yes. So,
Okay.
and that's just
Good golly.
to keep communication disputes down.
Oh.
And well, there's a lot of like uncertainty what you mean. Like there's universal shortcuts when playing the game. Like when you do a certain action, you're assuming that the opponent knows what you're doing. But sometimes there's a confusion of what's going on. So you might need a judge to clarify that. Or when since some of these tournaments are played for thousands of dollars,
Wow.
you suspect your opponent's cheating, to voice your concerns like a referee would be. There's not a judge at every match standing there. There's usually just one floating around.
Kind of like a proctor.
Yeah, like a proctor. Exactly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you do that role
And
sometimes.
yes, and also a judge oftentimes takes the role of like a community manager. We have, Magic as it's grown over 25 years, it develops communities, Facebook communities, store communities, etc. And a judge sort of helps organize tournaments, things of that sort. And I became a judge because the Las Vegas area was lacking in them.
Oh.
And my day job is a school teacher. It just sort of segued really well into judging. I already take care of children. so
Teacher by day, magic by night.
yeah.
Oh.
But I'll be honest, judging has let me
black
travel the
away.
world. So I have been to 4 continents because of Magic. I've been to many different countries.
That's so cool.
Yeah, just
That's
because
amazing.
of
That
this
is the
game.
coolest thing
Like,
is that.
places I never would have
That's
gone
incredible.
without this game.
I imagine
So-
you meet like tons of friends too that
Yeah.
you would never come across.
Yeah,
before.
I have just like my social circle has grown huge. I think there's like 12 to 15 languages the game is printed in.
Holy smoke!
So it's printed in a large number of languages.
Wait, I know that.
Yeah.
You probably had that
10.
on 10
10 different languages.
printed in.
12 million players worldwide.
Yeah,
10
so-
different
my
languages.
Asia is one of like the largest populations of Magic players.
I
There's
have no
a ton
doubt.
of them over there.
Yeah.
They have large professional events all over the world.
Wow.
What is the most exotic place this has taken you
The
to?
most exotic place I have been is probably Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Wow.
Close.
Yeah, to play this game. Last year I traveled to Morocco,
Wow.
but the event was not there. It was just sort of a side trip that I took when I was going to Spain.
Because of the game,
Because
you
of
got
the
to
game,
travel
I
to
got
Morocco.
to jump over to Morocco.
I like it.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is really cool.
What an opportunity.
Later on this year, I'm going to Barcelona to do an event. So
You're slowly becoming a legendary character. You're gonna be
I'm
funny
gonna.
around
Yeah, I'm
here.
trying. I'm trying to get my picture on a
Are
card.
there
There you go.
qualifications they expected from you, or did you just apply?
I mean, you have to be. So, yes, you have to have like. I don't want to use the word certificates, but we'll call them certificates in Magic terms. You have to like hit certain levels of judging. So there's a tier system to judging. Level 1 would be sort of like a local judge, and level 2 would be sort of a global judge.
Oh, wow.
So there's not many tiers. Then there's level 3, which is almost like an employee at that point. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
And you're currently
I'm currently level 2.
two.
I probably could not be a teacher and a level 3 at the same time.
That's a full-time
It's
gig.
it's a lot of gigging.
Yeah.
Okay.
Traveling.
But that could be a goal after the school district career.
Sure. Yeah, that's a possibility. Get to travel a little bit more. My
I
wife
have-
wouldn't like that as
I
much.
have like 2 more questions.
Yeah,
These are
no,
kind of
I-
off the cuff because
I want to answer them.
well, one I want to
I
like.
want to answer them.
Well,
I
like
want to answer
what
them.
I'm
I've
curious.
understood, like I like when I watched people play card games back in the day, I've seen them wager cards. Does that happen frequently?
So no, Hasbro
Okay,
has that was an element at the very beginning.
right.
There were cards
that's
even
that's what I
printed.
picture in my head, and so I, like I said in the beginning, like it was just too expensive for me, so I couldn't do it. And people are like,
So yeah, originally there was something
basically
called
wagering.
ante.
okay,
So the original rules of the game was you would shuffle your deck, your opponent would shuffle their deck, You'd flip over the top card of your deck, and you'd be playing for that card.
Wow.
Holy
So that was the
cow!
ante. So
So you
if
could have lost a Black Lotus?
Correct. If you had your Black Lotus in your deck at the time, which back in 1993 was maybe a $20 card.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal back then.
You could lose it. And that was part of the game, but you had to balance that out. You had cards in your deck that let you steal that card back. So there are cards you could play to alter the ante, or cards to force your opponent to ante more, or things of that sort that like broke the rules. And one of the main rules of Magic the Gathering cards is the card overrules any written rule. So they've printed cards that change the rules of the game.
That makes
That
sense.
seems to be a mainstay in all of the card games.
Right.
All the new ones that have come out lately, there's always, the cards trump whatever the rules
But
is or whatever.
since the 90s, they have taken the ante mechanic out of the game. It's gone for good. It's long forgotten about. And they don't want to associate gambling with the game at all.
Okay, well, which brings me to my second question. Have you ever seen anybody actually lose it? Like, flipping tables?
That's what the judge's role is.
This is my second question. Like, because I'm always curious, because I know these things get really heated. And I just want to know, like, you as a judge, have you seen
I have
Any,
seen
like,
outlandish,
anybody hulking
outrageous
out, so to
behavior.
I
you've
have seen angry
or
players.
tramplings?
At this point in the game, most of the players are adult enough and have the rules are clear enough and the expectations are high enough that it doesn't happen often.
Okay.
But there occasionally is the upset player that usually is escorted out or at least taken away to cool down.
Wow.
A timeout room.
You're in the timeout
More
room.
often in the local player shop will you see.
Oh, okay,
like,
okay.
the
That makes
person
sense. That
who
makes more sense.
Thinks they're above the rules.
Right.
will
That
do
makes
things
more
like
sense.
that. But honestly, no, not like a major. I'm going to flip the table and slam everything around.
No trampolines.
And so,
Got
no
it.
trampolines.
No
yeah,
trampolines.
Fisticuffs.
nothing
No
really
fisticuffs.
at that point. A lot of big words, but it's like people talking on the internet, shouting at
Many
each
trigger
other.
words in this episode.
But in the long run, most of the Magic players are, geeks.
Decent folk.
Modern day.
Decent geeky folk.
Yeah,
Mild
that's
mannered, if you will.
Yeah. Non-confrontational. You can go with that.
Very Bruce Wayne. Batman.
Yes.
Well, we're going to get confrontational, right?
Yeah, I was going to say we were going
speaking
to
of-
kind of wrap things up. If anybody has any
Any final
Final
words you
words?
want to express about
final,
I mean,
Magic?
I could open a pack
Advice
of
of
cards. You
anyone?
guys want to see what's
in
inside
front
a
of
pack?
Rob?
oh,
Do you want to see what's inside a pack?
Rob might start sweating.
What? You don't open product. You don't open things.
No.
Well, I think
But cards, I think he'll handle. Maybe.
especially if there's
Unless
a chance
that-
of a
There's
Boba
no
Fett
Star
in there,
Wars
they're
unless there's a
collectible.
chance of
Is
a
there a
Boba
trophy?
Fett.
I mean, there probably will be a token, and there's probably a legendary card in here.
open that.
So-
crap.
Let's do it.
We can see what.
Please.
Like, so
Please. Now
most
I'm
of the time,
asking.
when you buy Magic cards, you're going to buy a booster pack. This is like
Okay.
the best way to modify your deck. And yeah, it's going to have 15 random cards in here.
Nice.
There will be a rare. There'll be some uncommons. And there might be a token. There's usually like a wild card slot, either for an advertisement or a token, or some non-card slot.
There's all that crammed into every pack.
Yeah.
And how much do these usually run you?
Ooh.
Just out of curiosity. I'm just saying, like,
retail. So if you went to a big box store,
right.
these like a Target or a Walmart, they're about $4 a pack, which sounds expensive, I guess, but you can get lots of value out of them.
Right.
If you go to your local game store, most stores sell them for less than that. You can usually get 3 packs for $10.
Nice. Okay. That's good
and
info.
the internet exists, but you should always support your local game stores.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
where like the community grows and things like that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So, and it's a better deal to buy a whole box at a time than an individual pack.
Got you.
So I'm going to open this little thing up,
Oh, there we go.
and if we had a camera that was facing down, I could see it. But
Squad goals.
I guess I'll just
We're one camera
flip
setup
through and
for
let
now.
us see here.
Squad goals.
All right, what's exciting? Just
So the first few cards, the first 10 cards are all commons.
boring.
Yeah, these are like the boring
Whoa.
things.
Wait, who was that?
Which one right here?
Carnivore.
Oh,
What's that?
corrosive ooze.
I need my glasses.
Sorry, for those of you listening,
You can't see
I
it.
opened a pack of Dominaria. This is 2 sets ago, but it was a really popular
Oh,
set.
this is old.
Well, 2 sets ago was over the summer.
Ancient.
They come out every 3 months.
Wow.
So we're
Were
getting
those
some
two the
stuff.
same?
No, they won't have the same 2
Okay.
cards. Oh, it's very unlikely. Well,
Okay.
all right. Here's where we get to like the uncommons. I have
Ooh.
something called Time of Ice.
Ooh.
Time of Ice is an enchantment that freezes things, basically. without anyone knowing how to play the game,
Everybody chill.
we should probably take a day and just play the game one day.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
That'd be
no,
good.
that'd be
Especially now
fun.
that I have my deck.
Yeah, I'll gladly come over and teach people how to play.
Well, I need to go to Dark Side.
Yeah, or go to Dark Side Games. This next
up a
uncommon is Elfim Druid, and he is a green creature that produces mana, which I mentioned green is good at.
Yeah.
I produced a little green mana this morning.
Robert.
Yeah.
I saw some of that. Well, I didn't see it, but I could smell it when I came in.
Yeah, that's gross.
Ford the Weatherlight is our third uncommon. Not a very great card, but we're getting to our rare, and let's see what I got here. Oh, I got a legendary card. A legendary rare.
Oh,
Is it yourself?
No, this is Joda, Archmage Eternal. So you can't really see it on the view because it's so
I
small.
can't really see it.
It's a gold card.
Yeah.
You can see it anyway.
So most cards are 1 of 5 colors. This card is 3 different colors,
Wow.
which is called a multicolor card. And multicolor cards,
So it's diverse.
yeah, it's diverse. It's harder to play because you have to have 3 different resources to play this card, but it has the powers of all those colors.
Wow.
So it,
Nice.
a very powerful card.
yeah,
Very cool.
Not worth many dollars, I guess. But it's a new
play,
set.
play value is
Earth
it?
dollars?
Earth dollars, yeah.
What
And
play
there's a
value
token.
is it
This is a
again?
real token, opposed to a Boba Fett token.
Hey, man. Don't be
And
discriminatory.
look, there's an ad on the back.
Well, yeah, mine doesn't have an ad on it.
Well,
What is that?
It's the token creature.
it is a sapperling. A sapperling is a little green fungus, like a mushroom with feet.
Oh, that's cute.
Kind of pretty. It's got a lot of different colors.
Yeah.
Oh, does it have eyes?
This particular one does not because it's a
Oh, it's got
plant.
feet. Does it have? It has feet.
Plant.
It's a plant.
It's a living thing.
It's like,
It's a
I mean,
sapperling.
It has feet.
Does it have a
Alright.
personality?
I don't think it's unrealistic to ask if it has eyes.
it
That's
can.
it,
Do
let's
you have a
fight.
Sharpie?
That's great.
Does
So-
it have what Batman has?
So that was a pack of Magic the Gathering cards.
Was that
Very
a good
cool.
Yeah, I would not be overly excited by this pack, no,
Okay.
in the long run. I think
Sorry, viewers.
this
and
pack would be
listeners.
better, more valuable closed than opened.
Really?
Yeah, but
Now, see,
As a new
that's
player-
why I don't open stuff.
as a new player, though,
What was that
this would
one?
be a great pack.
Yeah, see? There you go.
Very cool.
Alright.
So,
Very
Very
nice.
cool. Thank you.
yeah,
That's awesome.
not a problem.
Yeah, we want to thank you for coming on and
Yeah.
everything. But before we close, we always like to close with a little versus segment.
Sure.
So we have a question here for our verses. We've been talking fantasy for our last episode, talking fantasy this episode. So whenever I think of games and fantasies, there's 2 games that come to mind. Dungeons and Dragons, which we've mentioned here, and Magic the Gathering. So I thought it was interesting when I was doing some research for this episode that Wizards of the Coast also own Dungeons and
They own
Dragons now.
Dungeons and Dragons now. Yeah, they got so big they bought TSR out of it. And we're like, give us that property.
Tactical Studies Rules.
I don't think that's what TSR stands for.
Certainly does.
Is it?
I will look.
Oh man.
Patricia,
Wow.
look it up.
Gentlemen,
I
got
got
Hey.
geek cred, man. Gary Gygax.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna ask you if you knew who
tactical,
did it.
tactical what?
Tactical Studies
You're
Rules.
so adamant, but that's
I know.
such a terrible.
So it
name.
seems like this is going to be a good question because it's already heating up between the two of you. So
Yes, I'm sorry. Let me just confirm.
if you had to choose,
Wait.
Hold on.
oh, you want to
Hey,
wait for
let's
that?
go.
I need my props here.
TSR Company is known as Tactical Studies Rules, formed in 1973 in partnership
That's a
between
good year,
Gary
yeah.
Gygax and Don Kay.
1973 is
Alright.
a great year.
I bow down to his knowledge of acronyms.
Step back out. So the geek flag right now belongs
you.
to
He's
Robert.
currently winning. Yeah. But WotC, or Wizards of the Coast,
Watsy.
Oh, wait a
Yeah,
second.
so-
He might have taken a flat back on that one.
has bought out TSR.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, he still gets major credit for talking about magic in her hoops.
Well, yeah, there
Also
was a
true.
lot in there. Yeah. I knew one fact.
That's right about that.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. So, if you guys had to choose between one game out of these 2 fantasy gaming giants, if you will,
Yes.
which one would you pick and why?
Well, I mean, I already said I quit Dungeons and Dragons over Magic for Magic.
That was
So-
pretty. I didn't expect
pretty
that. That
We know
that was
where I'm
pretty
at.
shocking. Yeah.
Magic the Gathering is the greatest game of all time.
Well,
Hands down.
that remains to be seen because time is ongoing.
Yeah.
So have either one of you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
I did play
Alright.
Dungeons and Dragons for a little bit.
And having played both, what's your opinion?
I enjoy Magic more just because, to me, Dungeons and Dragons, there's too much. And if you don't have a good DM,
Yeah.
Dungeon Master,
Geek flag just passed from Robert.
That goes to this guy.
You guys really need
If
That
you
is
don't have a
correct.
good dungeon master,
I'm gonna get one.
then your whole campaign just goes. So I like Magic just because it's not as you don't have.
Because
There's
it's
a cut.
easy.
There's a cut.
Because
It's
it's
a lot
easy. It's
easier.
the quick and
Oh,
easy way out.
it
It
is
is a
not
lot
easy
easier.
to
It's the
master,
easy-
though. It's a much more diverse.
Dungeons and Dragons is a game where what you bring to it is your imagination. You don't. Everything's not laid out before you in the cards.
Okay.
You're not-
Getting
you're
that
not-
regal voice.
All right,
It's not
all right.
laid out before.
So
You have to create your character. I'm trying to play this up.
It was
I really don't have
no,
an opinion, but-
you're doing a good job.
I mean, I've never played Magic, but
I'm
I
about
played
to
a
take
lot
the
of
flag from
D&D.
Rick.
Yeah, you're
I played a
doing
lot of D&D when I was a kid, and so I know D&D, and it's an imagination game. It's a game, you know.
I'm gonna steal the nerd flag, the
Oh,
geek
here we
flag,
go.
wherever it is.
There you go, Rick.
So, who remembers an old video game? Well, if we can even call it that, an old computer game called Zork.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Zork was like
Text-based,
computerized
right?
Dungeons and Dragons. You got to use your imagination. You got to type. You had to type everything and imagine what you were playing. There's a reason why Zork still is not a game that our Fortnite players are playing.
Oh.
Because your imagination is great. Don't not be imaginative. Imagination is awesome.
Hey, you're an art teacher.
I know.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
But for entertainment value and for game wise, I want something that's there. I want these awesome artwork pieces. I want something I can relate to as I see it. And Dungeons and Dragons, just not my cookie. I want to see my game.
So
I wanna
you
play.
have no interest to ever play D&D again?
That's not true. If I had a good dungeon master, a DM, I might be more interested in playing. But there's a lot more time commitment
Yes.
to playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I think that's there's so many
It's daunting.
books,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I enjoyed making the characters. I don't even know if that's a part of D&D. So.
I mean, that's what a lot of people like, actually.
I enjoyed making the characters and doing all that. That was cool.
Plus there's the initial
uh,
fear. Like, if I was to walk up to someone and be like, hey, do you want to learn how to play this card game? Or do you want to go and sit and play Dungeons and Dragons? They're going to be like, oh, I'll learn the card game.
Right.
Because it seems something more doable.
Is Dungeons and
Approachable.
Dragons just for kids?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
I wouldn't.
No.
say
I don't think it's for kids at
Are
all.
there no? Because I'm just because
I
when
have a few
played it,
people that I can
when
bring
you
in.
played it, you were young. I mean,
Right, yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
My thought is, when we played it, we would start at 6 or 7 at night, pour down sodas until about 3 o'clock in the morning and bags of Cheetos. Who has time for that?
Like Stranger Things.
Who,
Yeah.
who has time for that as an adult?
Demogorgon.
You know what I mean? As a grown up,
As a grown-up, yeah.
who can devote that kind of time to
Dungeons
it?
and
There are
Dragons.
kids in the house anymore.
No, it's transitioned. It's no longer like that
That
game.
marathon.
It's not the game you're seeing on Stranger Things or things like that.
Yeah.
It has
that's
evolved into like your evening social activity, like where you get together with a couple of your friends or a handful of your friends that you've been friends with since high school, and you sit back and it's more of the nostalgia that you're playing. You're hanging out, just socializing more than that, and
Fair enough.
it's more about your
Makes
social
sense.
interactions. You know, have a few adult beverages and some homemade hors d'oeuvres, and have a good night.
Like what? What are you making?
I don't know, like little shrimp puffs.
Hey, that's
or
not part of.
What
That's
about-
not part of the.
That's Chris's podcast.
There we go. Yeah.
Chris's podcast.
Little
That's
vegan,
not-
I was gonna say you
Carrots.
can't do shrimp.
This isn't versus.
Oh.
This is a different versus.
So
So then I said.
Magic's way better though.
yeah.
So then it says
back
back to
down.
Rick.
When can
You win. I'm never playing D&D again.
Are there any-
I can pretty much guarantee that. But I
Are
might
there
try
any
to have-
$2,000 Dungeons and Dragons books?
Never.
He's
There might
throwing
be.
in the Black
There might be.
Lotus. He's done.
I've thrown in my red beard. That was I was a 10th level dwarf.
You took the
Red
flag.
beard.
You
Did
took
you have
the
a battle
flag,
axe?
Chris.
I did have a big battle
Like-
axe and a big red beard. Well, mine had 2 sides.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
He was
snap.
double-sided.
Yeah.
double-sided
Gary
axe
Jackson
wins
has one.
every time.
So, but no, I'll try Magic. But I
Yeah.
think I'm done with D&D. So
Aw, tip of fortune.
Chris wins the
Yeah.
versus.
All right. Well, hey,
Winner.
this is the first time we've had a winner on versus.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of
We were gonna
folks-
wait to hear
A lot
this.
of firsts on this episode. Good job.
Great.
Well,
We got
thank you to our
prizes and first. You know.
thank you to our studio audience.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
And thank you to our listening and viewing audience.
Oh yes.
Sorry.
What are,
She was just pass these notes along. It was all good.
All right. Well, we were on a roll here.
I know. I was
Wrapping
afraid it was
this
going to
thing.
wrap so quickly that
That we're gonna.
forget a thing.
It's all good.
Oh,
So sorry.
what thing?
Huh?
What
We
thing?
have a thing.
What are you talking about?
Is it like a,
Now you-
is it like a
now he's
Batman thing? Is
confusing.
it
Now
like a
he's
Batman
confusing
thing?
me.
I hope
Trick
not,
on
because I'm
me?
going to leave
No.
it. That's it.
All
I'm
right.
out of here if it's a Batman thing.
You all good?
I'm good. I would like to put another shout out
Go
for
ahead.
our TV show,
Yes. Yeah. Please.
Vegas Toy Stories.
Mm-hmm.
Check
Check
out
it
the
out.
sizzle reel and share it.
And it's,
Spread it around.
I've been noticing we've been getting a lot of action on our Facebook page. So thank you guys for joining that. And seems like we got new likes every couple days. So keep checking out our Facebook page. That's kind of where we put our prime information. We're also on Instagram. Check out Daily Fet.
And
That's
Kid Cobra
on both.
videos.
Yeah,
Ooh, Kid Cobra.
Kid Cobra's got to get some videos on there.
Get some fresh
She's
stuff.
got to get some stuff on there for sure.
That means you got to get her some stuff.
And then I know Kid Cobra videos are expensive for us. But like always, we want to thank you guys for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to see us on Podbean, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube channel. We already
Still waiting on
mentioned
iTunes.
Still waiting on iTunes. So
iTunes.
you know,
What's up,
Chris,
iTunes?
you got anything?
saying.
You got anything you want to plug?
Where,
Liliana Rasputin is the greatest of all time.
what does that mean?
magic.
Magic.
Oh, all right.
New Mutants. We'll be talking about that because that movie's
Nothing
coming
to
out this year
plug.
too.
Yes.
Gifted just came out, season 2.
Oh, that's true.
Gotta watch that.
Don't forget,
There you go.
go check out our video of this one, the
Mhm.
magic episode.
Oh, yeah.
Make a comment.
There you
and
go.
From all the people who comment, we're going to randomly choose one.
Next
You'll get that.
Thursday
Thanks to
on
Chris.
October 4th.
On
Thanks to
October
Darkside.
4th.
Yeah, thanks to Darkside.
Why don't we do it? Let's
This is
do it
the coolest.
on. No, we can't. We can't do it.
We
live.
can-
No, because
Yeah,
Well, we can
yeah.
announce it. We'll announce it on our. So if you're the only one who comments, you're going to win it,
There you go.
that's right.
and we'll ship it anywhere in the country.
Very good. Sounds good.
Within the continental United States.
Not including Puerto Rico
Yeah.
and
Virgin Islands.
Alaska or the
Or
U.S.
Hawaii.
Virgin.
Well,
All right.
That being said, we
all of
should-
our Anchorage, Alaska fans are not going to be.
they're gonna be
They're
bummed.
gonna get it,
They're
yeah.
gonna be bummed.
Sorry.
That's right.
We need to get a little bit bigger.
They'll get over it.
We need more budget.
Pony up the dough when they start giving us some more likes.
There you go.
There you go.
As always, we thank you guys. And we
There's
are
the box.
I got the prize.
Vegas Toy Squad, and Vegas Toy Squad is
Out.
out.